Imagine knights in shining armor charging full tilt into battle. Not in a far-off medieval movie, but right here in Australia, at the nation's official jousting championship. This isn't just a spectacle, it's a sport steeped in tradition, courage, and surprising modern twists. But here's where it gets controversial. Jousting in Australia is evolving rapidly. Blending ancient chivalry with contemporary competition, and some purists might argue whether that's a good or bad thing. Back in 2018, Renee Marisma attended a medieval reenactment show at Cryal Castle, an authentic-looking fortress-themed park near Ballarat in central Victoria. What started as a fun outing quickly turned into a life-changing event. She left not only with a phone number and a job offer, but also with what she fondly calls an unconventional love story. Meeting her now husband, Cliff, at a jousting display was like stepping straight into a fairy tale. Renee describes this encounter as literally finding her knight in shining armor. Cliff, ever the pragmatist, jokes that she probably figured marrying him was cheaper than continuing to pay for lessons he gave her. 5 years later, Renee reached the pinnacle of Australian jousting by becoming the national champion. Her trusted horse, Goldie, a spirited quarter horse affectionately nicknamed the horse Barbie would ride, became a crowd favorite, especially among children. But here's the part most people miss. 2 days before the 2025 championship, a sudden change forced Renee to withdraw Goldie from the competition, forcing her to ride a borrowed horse named Paco instead. Despite her best efforts, she watched as Philip Leach, her former employer at Cryal Castle, reclaimed the title, at the very same location where her journey began. Leach's expertise in this high-speed, intense sport comes from over 16 years of dedication. Jousting in real life is nothing like the drawn-out Hollywood versions. The actual clashes last about 4 seconds. Riders accelerate towards each other at full gallop, attempting to strike each other's shields with wooden lances designed to shatter on impact, scoring points based on how thoroughly the lance breaks. The more skilled the rider, the better they control the lance to maximize breakage and accuracy. It's not as dangerous as it looks, Leach assures. While the sport may appear wildly reckless, it has matured from rough-and-tumble entertainment to a refined and highly skilled competition. The mental demands are just as intense as the physical ones. For newcomers like Jay Dominic, the moments leading up to the charge are fraught with nerves so intense they almost blur her vision. Conversely, for some veteran riders, jousting offers a surprisingly calming experience. Cliff describes the moment of riding down the tilt, the long, narrow arena, as a serene dance. Equipped in full armor and harness, looking down the path at another formidable knight ready to engage. It's a moment of pure focus, described almost like a perfect, beautiful balance between calm and adrenaline. Equally important is the relationship between rider and horse. The perfect jousting horse needs to be brave, almost a bit oblivious, Renee explains. Meaning the horse must be fearless, charging towards loud crowds and clanging metal, yet not overthink the chaos around it. When Goldie was sidelined just before the event, Renee felt as though she lost her teammate because this partnership is critical. The sport simply doesn't work without a strong bond between horse and rider. Leach's own victory was anchored by his 19-year-old Frisian stallion, Valiant, a horse he's known and trained with for close to 2 decades. Don't try to change what's proven to work, Leach advises. Stick to the plan. The roster of competitors this year showcased startling demographic shifts. When Renee first joined 6 years ago, only a handful of women were competing. Today's championship was a perfect gender balance. 6 men and 6 women battling head-to-head. Renee has played a key role in encouraging more women to join the sport, mentoring young riders like 21-year-old Sienna Poynton, who entered her first major tournament after just over a year of practice. The competition is fierce and fair. There are no advantages given for age, gender, or experience. Sienna regularly goes head-to-head with riders boasting decades in the sport. The event is officiated by Mika Leach, Philip's daughter, whose role as marshal is to judge competitors based on their horsemanship, lance control, and accuracy. The paths that led riders to jousting couldn't be more varied. Sienna discovered the sport through her love of fantasy worlds. A dedicated Lord of the Rings fan, she was intrigued by the romanticized images of knights clashing with lances and armor in films like A Knight's Tale. For others like Renee, the sport grew out of an equestrian background, adding a historical combat element to their existing riding skills. Then, there are competitors like Leach, who came to jousting through martial arts and weapon training. His humorous take is that jousting is a combat sport you can practice without ending up in jail for attempted murder. Despite their different origins, all riders share the same thrilling showdown. Two warriors charging at a combined speed around 60 kilometers per hour. The armor itself reflects a mix of tradition and personal investment. Sienna's gear cost less than $1,000, mostly paid from birthday money on off-the-shelf components. Renee's more authentic, 15th-century German Gothic armor, on the other hand, came with a hefty price tag, around $40,000, the equivalent of a nice car. This financial investment isn't just about aesthetics or authenticity. It provides crucial protection. Renee trusts her armor completely, confident it shields her from injury. This assurance means seasoned jousters in top-quality armor don't even flinch when lances come flying toward them, unlike newer participants still adjusting to the unpredictability. The surge in the sport's popularity was palpable at Cryal Castle during the most recent national championship. Fans like Aaron Albrecht and Brendan Gray flew all the way from Perth after discovering jousting almost by chance via an internet search. Neither had witnessed the sport before. Brendan admitted, "I did not care about jousting until I came here, but now proudly sports a signed lance as a souvenir of their fangirling. If you love martial arts, you will love jousting." Brendan states enthusiastically, highlighting the sport's appeal to combat enthusiasts. Once you understand the rules and flow, it's incredibly engaging. The future of Australian jousting lies with young enthusiasts like sisters Lucy, 19, and Lana, 17, Tyrrell. Having grown up visiting Cryal Castle as kids, they now